You're listening to Forward Faster, bite-sized insights for entrepreneurs.
Optics and photonics companies need to think about patenting on an international scale, more today than ever before. Manufacturing is done globally, products are sold globally, and so you really need to think very early about your international patenting strategy. You can start with Japan, United States, and Europe, but China is emerging as a very, very important region because it's a big market, it's very advanced, there's lots of innovation activity going on there, and they're starting to build a framework that is a fair practice use market. So it used to be you didn't worry about China because everyone thought there was no protection there. But now China has become one of the most important areas to patent for because the Chinese government is implementing a fair practice use marketplace for being able to litigate and license your products there. So it's important to look at Europe, particularly Germany, where they have a strong litigation program, England, but England is sort of not as big as Germany. United States, obviously, Japan has a strong licensing program, and China. And those are markets that you really should worry about. Korea is an interesting market. It's hard to break in. Samsung will tend to buy your patents anyway, even if you didn't file in Korea, because they sell globally. So you don't really need to do Korea or Southeast Asia. India is a new emerging opportunity. I think India will follow China. Companies should think about India on a case-by-case basis, depending upon what market you're in, especially in service and healthcare. Markets you should patent there as well. In the optics and photonics industry, the trends of patenting are ever so more important because we see the expansion of the Internet of Things and the connection of the Internet of Things to medical diagnostics. We're seeing more and more drug discovery, disease monitoring, and health monitoring system using optics and photonics more than ever. And the connection to big data and using that data to make decisions. So we're seeing now a convergence of medical, which has always been a strong area for IP, sensors and new sensors that are on the body, in your clothing, talking to machines, and your iPhone. So if you think about the emergence of 5G, which is an Internet of Things standard, optics and photonics is going to play a very important role in this 5G world, which people are claiming is going to be a $2 trillion industry. Optics is important for the connection of all of those things, whether it's bandwidth, movement of information, sensors, and detection. So I think that's one of the most important areas that we're going to see massive expansion. Areas where it might be crowded are in simple detectors or in semiconductors. I mean, semiconductors, where in the role that optics plays there, is really well thought out. It's pretty crowded. We need to see a new emergence of how we're going to do computing processing with optics. And I think we kind of lost our way there, and it's been over-patented. But that may come back also in the form of how the data center operates and how computing operates in the data center. And maybe the all-fiber communication system inside a data center could be old technology that would come back in a new way. But those are two areas that I think are really going to be innovative for optics and photonics in the future for IP. Areas where I've seen the IP strategy be incredibly brilliant have been in systems that bring together multiple applications and connect them. I actually think that some of the things that we think are mundane, such as OVITs and their contact lens technology, I think what they've done is they've stitched together a system that now allows you to look in software and map the contour of an eye and look at aberrations you've never seen before, and then customize a lens. But when you think about that, that seems like a very simple problem. But if you think the value chain of that effort to do that and bring all that together as a system solution, there's a lot of IP applications there that you might think about. You can reapply that in other areas where customized medicine hasn't really occurred. Another really interesting company where I've seen is when you're inserting sensors into the body and then you're fluorescing the cell metabolic pathways in our body, and then you're sensing where failures are occurring in the body. I think these nanobot sensors and fluorescence of proteins in the body and looking at cell generation and failure is going to be an increasingly important area for health monitoring. And those are two areas where I'm thinking the IP space is just incredible. Luminate is the largest optics and photonics incubator in the United States. It is important for our companies to have an IP strategy that's going to create tremendous value. We help our companies develop those strategies, thinking about their growth in international markets, reducing their risk, and increasing their return on investment over many years.